Hello, Michael from Athens.
Hello, yes.
Yes, Michael. I'm very thrilled to meet one of my favorite role players in my favorite game, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I was amazed to find out that the main character, the hero of this game, is Greek, and it is you. Do you want to explain this to me? How did this happen?
Well, I was living in Vancouver at the time, and I got an audition from my agent. I had heard that they'd been auditioning for already a year when I got an audition for it.
For 1 year? They were looking for a main character for 1 year?
For 1 year. And so I sent in a tape audition, and I had to audition for a hero and the villain. They were both in the same scene, and so you had to memorize both characters and then perform them individually and then send in 2 tapes. One is the good guy and one is the bad guy against each other. And so I sent those in, and then they called me back. And then I did test auditions with many female actresses, and then they brought me to the motion capture studio.
All right, guys, this is putting on the helmet. So this is how we get the facial magic to happen. Dan here's doing an amazing job today.
How's it going?
Yeah. Boom.
First time I had to put on
Fun cameras. And this microphone goes on here. And, this captures all our facial movements.
And I did I'll call it my very first time ever doing this in my entire career was an act-off, where I had to act off another actor who was up for the same role. And it was him and I auditioning against each other in the motion capture studio, playing the good guy and the bad guy, and then switching, and then playing the bad guy, good guy, and switching, and doing that for almost 2 hours for the audition. And it was fun. It was very intense, but it was fun. And then I didn't hear for a little while. Then they brought me back for a test shoot. And when I arrived, it was a studio production. Everybody was there, actors, everybody. And I still didn't know what I was auditioning for, what this was, and I thought I was just doing a test shoot, but it was actually the first shoot day of the game, and it was the symposium scene with Socrates and everybody all there, and meeting everyone for the first time for Alexios' character. And I still didn't even know what the game was that I was working on at that moment of work. And then I did about 2 to 3 more months of auditions to help cast the female character of Cassandra. We did chemistry tests until we found Melisanthi Machat, who lives in Greece as well.
She's also Greek. The female character of the game is also Greek.
Yeah, and she lives in Athens. So she's also really wonderful. And when I first acted with her, I knew she was the person, and I told her, this is yours, because she was the only person that scared me when we auditioned against each other.
Okay.
But think of it as interest, Marcos. Everybody benefits.
Of course, my friend. You shall have your pick.
But yeah, that was the process. So it was a long process, and
how long?
It was a lot. Just the auditions itself took 4 or 5 months, and then the project I worked on for about 2 years.
2 years?
2 years.
How can we imagine that? 2 years doing what exactly?
Well, it was spaced out because there would be motion capture cinematic days, and then there would be voiceover, which would be in the booth. Probably about 20–25% of the game is the motion capture cinematics, where we're in the motion capture suits and we're doing all the acting and everybody's working together. And then about the rest of the game, 75–80% of it is done in a voiceover booth by yourself.
Take cover! I'll find you when I know it's safe! Take cover! I'll find you when I know it's safe! Take cover! I'll find you when I know it's safe!
And that would be, so the motion capture would be about once a month for about a week, every month.
Thank you, Phoebe.
I'll go tell Marcos you're coming.
and then the voiceover would be scheduled in between that. Sometimes it was less, and sometimes it was months, every day, 5 days a week, and you would go in and record. I can't remember how many lines a day, 200 and something lines a day. You'd have to get out and
for all those dialogues in the game, that character.
Yeah, and the choice wheels and everything. So,
what was the most challenging thing that you did back then?
Wow, there was a lot of really fun parts to it. I always made a joke because Melisanthi and I became so close as sibling characters, but we also became best friends. And I always make a joke that the most challenging thing was to do a scene where we had to act as other characters and we had to kiss each other in real life, and that was really challenging.
I guess so.
When you become really close to someone, it's very funny. No, there was. I'm trying to think. I mean, the most challenging thing for me was the amount of lines, to feel like you had enough time to prepare, and get through a certain amount of lines every day.
The Spartan hordes outside eat your cattle and children alive. They dance at your walls. They don't rain, but they squall.
You had to just trust that you were doing an okay job and getting through as much dialogue as possible. So that to me was challenging at times.
Any action scenes that you had to do?
Yeah, we did a lot with the stuntmen. We did like a combination of doing the action scenes with them, and some we didn't because they were very, very intricate, so the stuntmen did a lot, but there were quite a few scenes we did together. And what they would do is they would fuse our bodies and our performance. So they would use my facial performance, my acting, and they would fuse the stuntman's cleanliness and, perfection of what they do with my performance. And it was really neat how they were able to do that. It's fascinating.
So, are you an actor?
I've been an actor pretty much my whole life.
What kind of movies or theaters do you mostly play?
Well, I started in classical, I started in plays, and then I got into classical theater when I was in my teenage years, and then moved to musicals. Thankfully, my sister sang, so
Sophia
copied. Yeah, my sister
superb,
Sophia. Yeah. So I would copy and make fun of her growing up a lot, and then it actually got me my first musical, and then that led me to more musical theater, and I started getting into singing a lot more and dancing and ballet and tap jazz, all of that. So I really, really went into theater a lot in my younger years, late teens, early 20s, and then transitioned over to film and television, and then transitioned over to video games, and that led me over to voiceover work, which led me to commercials and animations as well. And then I came like a jack of all trades within the performance world, so I kind of hop in between everything.
Did you grow up in the States?
No, I grew up in Canada.
In Canada?
Yeah. My father still lives in Greece. I would go there visit every summer growing up as a kid, and so I spent a lot of time in Greece.
Where are you from, Greece?
I'm from, on my father's side, I'm from Mani.
Mani has a big tradition of important warriors.
Exactly, yes.
No.
We went from warriors to mafia, but we did a lot.
You know a lot, yes. You told me that you visit Greece a lot, right? Any relatives here?
My father's there. I have a half-brother, sister there. My aunt's there, and a few other family members are still there.
So, Michael, how was the feeling to be protagonist in a big international game, which is specifically, I think the best game that has been developed about ancient Greece, and you are the protagonist of that. How's the feeling?
When I first went to the studio after I was hired, they brought me to Quebec, and I picked up the remote control, and it was a big screen, and they hadn't recorded any of my voice yet, but they'd had initially done a lot of the preliminaries of the game. And so the character was there, and I just started picking up the controller and started walking around. And when I saw the Acropolis, and I saw the Athens, and then they took me to Delphi and all these different areas, I started crying. I did. I had tears in my eyes because growing up, I would go visit these areas and always imagine what it would look like, and to see them put in that detail of, you know, of creativity and work to bring it to life, and go like, wow, like this is, you know, what I always wanted to know. What would it look like if I walked around in here? And at that moment, I was just in awe and so grateful that I would get to be a part of something so amazing. It was one of the greatest gifts I've ever been given.
In a way, you are the only person on earth who has done a virtual tour in ancient Greece in this way. By giving it your voice and your body and all that, you had an amazing virtual tour in the whole of ancient Greece.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yes.
And I really got to make Malaka like a tagline of popularity around the world, and that was really fun.
This word is used not only in Greece a lot, but in the game. It's very funny.
Malaka.
Malakas.
Malaka.
Malaka. Malakis, malakis.
Malaka. Malakis. Malaka. Malaka.
Malaka.
Malaka.
Malaka.
Malaka.
Malakis. Malakis. Malaka.
Malakis. Malaka.
Malakis.
Did you enjoy the game?
I loved it. I think the game was great. You always look back with critiques and improvements upon yourself and what you have learned during the process of making something like that. But overall, I have nothing else to say other than it's a beautiful work of art that they created. And I'm grateful to be the character and bring that character to life. He was very special to me and still is, and I always keep a little piece of Alexios in me.
Any other thing specifically that you liked about the game, about the plot, about what's going on there, about the scenery? Something else?
You know, I enjoyed the way they fused in the stories of the Isu when it gets into Atlantis and the Elysiums and going to Hades, and what they did in the DLCs. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a fun play on everything, and bringing all those kind of storylines together from the game lore to the Greek lore and mythology. I think one of my favorite elements was that it was a story about family, and to take this really epic journey and all these things and bring in the Minotaurs, bring in all this stuff, but really the core of the story was about family.
Greek family.
Yeah, yeah. And you can have a happy ending or you can have a great Greek tragedy. Either way you take it, but the core of everything and the character to me ended up always being about family. And I just thought that made it very approachable and much easier to relate to, not only for myself, but I think as an audience member to play a game like that. Everyone has a family, so you can relate.
I can't change the past, Alexios. I will live and die a Spartan.
There's a large reward for the mercenary who can collect the wolf's head.
Is that why you're here? I failed to protect you. To protect both of you.
Does Michael feel any nostalgia about Greece?
Always. God, I miss Greece all the time. I want to go back. I just had a baby boy last year, and I've been wanting to take him back as well. And I miss the sea. I really do. It gives me like a recharge, like a battery.
Do you teach Greek to your kid?
Not yet. I'm trying to learn Spanish, so at the moment. But I will. I need to learn a lot more Greek, and we'll definitely practice together.
Right. So Michael, any plans for the future?
In the meantime, I've just finished another project. So I'm playing Bruce Wayne, Batman, in Gotham Knights, Warner Brothers' new video game. Yes. And we just finished that pretty recently, so they're just in the final stages of post-production, so I'm looking forward to seeing what that comes out. So I get to play Bruce Wayne. And,
oh, nice. From Alexios to Bruce Wayne.
Which is very funny, because when I consciously was working on Alexios and the voice for him, I said, I want to make a Greek Batman. So I literally did a Bruce Wayne sound, a deeper sound, and then I added in the Greek accent, and so I had Alexios, and that's where he came from, and was making a Greek Batman. So it was funny to, in the end, after playing that, to get to actually play Batman was a pretty amazing transition. This is my daughter. Hello.
Your kids, nice. So,
not letting him mark the tape.
Oh, okay. Let's see that, Fifi. Okay. Yeah, and this is my little. Oh, you took all the tape, huh? This is my little guy.
Nice. Hello. Yes.
Yes. Just hello. All right. Gotta let you guys back in, okay? Yep.
It's okay. Michali, I wish you all the best. And may you have a lot of real travels in your country, in Greece, that we love so much. And I thank you very much for this great interview.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. Let me know if you need anything else.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Say yasu.
Yasu.